Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is May the 9th of 2022. I think I need to. Yeah. It was the beginning of a month. I need to go check my. What do you call it? The stuff that you pour into a septic tank. The Red X. There you go. I need to go make sure that I did that this month. I think I did. I don't know. I hope I did. I'm supposed to stay on that every month, and I need to set myself a timer. Whatever. Anyways, we're coming from a new location, once again, because I love new locations around the house. Today we are in my wife's old workroom, and her, what do you want to call it, her toy room. So I'm surrounded by her toys now. It's the smallest room in the house outside of the bathrooms. So it's a little cramped in here, and I have to be a little quiet because I am on the floor with all the bedrooms. But yeah, she moved into her sewing room. Yes, she has a sewing room that's full of all of her yarn and all of her crafts and stuff that she makes. And she moved in there so that I can move up here so that we could start tearing out the basement so that we could start fixing it. We're going to have a foundation guy come in today and take a look at it and tell us what we need to do, and then hopefully from there we can get the basement fixed so we don't have any more flooding, because if anybody's been listening to any videos that I've done, it has been a constant fight. Especially Friday. I didn't do a video Friday because I was fighting water. That was the last straw for me. I told her, we need to get this done. It's time. It's time we call in the professionals. We can't wait for the contractor that we know. We have to get the ones that will show up, pretty much. So she called a guy, and he's supposed to be here this morning to take a look, and hopefully it will not cost an arm and a leg to fix, and we can get it done before the next rain, and I won't have any more water in the basement because I'm getting pretty well tired of this. But for the foreseeable future, yeah, like I said, we're going to be coming from here. It's different. It's definitely different, and I may be interrupted. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know when everybody wakes up, but my granddaughter may be waking up sooner or later. I don't know. I may have my wife come in and tell me that I'm being too loud. I hope that I'm not. For anyone that's listening, if it's a lot lower than usual, please turn up the radio because I can't. I can't. I've done everything in my power to make this thing as loud as possible, and I have to keep my voice down just that little bit. But it is what it is. So let's jump right into this. Today I'm going to read Psalm 137. What are we looking at here? 9 verses? Okay. 9 verses. I already have my Strong's Concordance pulled up if I need it. I don't know. I haven't glanced over it yet. I actually was just sitting here, just contemplating life before I started recording. I got in here and I just kind of stopped and looked around, and after I prayed, I just stopped and looked around, and I just wondering how I got here. It's been kind of a fight, but we're here. We're living, pretty much. So let's go ahead and read this. Clear my throat. We've all had stuffy noses and sore throats. The weather changes have not been nice to us. My throat's not bad anymore. It's just I'm still trying to clear it out. And we are looking into different things that we can do, different oils. I've had a lot of suggestions, and I absolutely thank everybody for the suggestions. We have I heard some kind of noise outside. There's a lot of weird noises in here. Plus, I hear the birds. I've never heard the birds this loud before. They're right underneath the window now instead of above the window. It's weird. But anyways, yes, I had a lot of suggestions about a lot of different things I could do, not just on YouTube, on other places as well. And we are definitely looking into that. A lot of the stuff my wife already knew, because she's that kind of person. So we'll be getting into that, here at the house. But as for right now, I'm doing okay. She's still, she's had a rough couple days, but we've been out and around doing stuff, especially around the house, especially moving my desk and my computer up here. Holy smokes, yesterday I burned myself out moving everything up. But we did things around the house. It was a lot of work. Not only that, but the basement as well. I just need to read the psalm. I'm trying to convince myself, just stop talking about yourself. Read the psalm. So, here we go. Psalm 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Again, I'm in a different room. It's very different here. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So this is one of those that I have heard several different places from several different people pull certain things out of it. What is that? Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just had an advertisement that I have not seen on my computer in forever just pop up. That's so weird. But I have heard several different people talk about this one because there are several different things inside of it that gives you an idea of what we're really dealing with in terms of the history of the world, of the things that have been hidden from us for so long that we cannot understand. Several things have been, I almost want to say, overused because people want to hang their hat on very specific things in the Bible to say that, these certain people are this, these certain people are that. And I get that. I understand that. But some people have overused it to the point that they're trying to prop themselves up more than others. We are all God's children. We all have the ability to be accepted by Him and by Christ. That there are people that were chosen from the beginning. But we have all been given the ability to be redeemed in His eyes through the blood of Christ, through the love that He gave us to allow us to have that. So there is a history that we need to learn and we need to understand that we have been lied to, that there are the people that claim that they are the people of Jerusalem may or may not, and I'm going to put that caveat in there, may or may not be the true people. That even Christ says at the end, He knows of those that call themselves Jews, but are really of the synagogue of Satan, of those that have lied about it. Now, I am not going to lump every single person into that category. But there is a deception happening. And the more we talk about it, the more YouTube likes to censor it. And you start becoming, they start calling you anti-Semitic simply for asking questions, especially this. Now, I'm not going to say it is either way. I'm going to say that there is a lie that we are still trying to unravel. But the more that you read passages in the Bible and understand very specific things, the more you can see that it's not what we have been taught in this time. There's other things happening. I know that sounds very cryptic, but we have to we have to watch our words. Even the disciples, even Christ had to watch his words. Because if he absolutely said the wrong things, he would have been taken away far sooner than he was. And I absolutely believe that. He had to watch his words. He had to say the things that he needed to say for the people that understood them. Because if he would have just come straight out and said, I am the Son of God, I am the chosen one and the Redeemer of the people of this world, if he would have just come out and straight said that, they would have crucified him right then and there, and the message never would have gotten out. So we do have to, I don't want to say hide away, but we can speak in terms that other brethren will hear and understand, so that we all will not be punished and taken away by this world. Does that make sense? That makes sense. But I get that, though. I understand that now. I always say speak the truth and speak it plainly, and that's fine. But I also understand whenever we talk about the real truth, when we talk about God's truth, especially God's truth, you start really, really pushing out the truth of God, the truth of life, of Christ, of all of this, of the salvation of the world. Man, people really, they really start digging into you. So I understand that we do have to keep it hidden, keep it safe. We talked about prayer closets, about going into your prayer closet, keeping that to yourself, not confessing your sins to others so that they can use it against you. Talking in allegories, talking in ways that only others can hear, so that we can get the message. Not being, so far Illuminati that, you gotta hide it within hidden symbols and, numerology, but enough that when it comes time, we know. So take that as you will. It is the glory of God to hide a thing. It is the honor of kings to search a thing out. All right, let's start from the top of this. I know I went on to a whole other thing right there. All right, let's start from the top. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon. So this is after they had been taken away to Babylon. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, because there was no singing, there was no dancing. We had put our instruments down. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue this, but I'm going to go back up. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? So I have heard this one pulled out by many different people. It is very reminiscent of the slaves of America, where they were told, sing us one of those, can I even say it? Can I even say Negro spirituals without getting hit? It is the same way. For there they carried us to the rivers of Babylon. They carried us away captive. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song. We were captives, we were slaves, but they required of us to make mirth, to sing them songs, slaving away, doing what they wanted us to do, and they required of us to sing for them. Sing us one of the songs of Zion. And you can plug in any song that you want from the South. One of the old African songs that you used to African songs, can you hear me? African American songs that you used to hear from the 1800s, 1700s. Any one of those that you can think of, you can plug right into it. I grew up in Florida. I've heard almost all of them. I never really thought about it until God started showing me the truth. And then I started understanding that this is the exact same thing that's happening in this psalm, is what was happening then, is where they were holding these people captive. If you want to do the whole 400 years things, we could talk about that, from 1619 to 2019, 400 years of slavery. They just went through all this. And it's interesting, as soon as that got done, then the big lie started. You guys need to look into this stuff, seriously. It's the sequence of events that's happening. It's insane. Some people talk about it, some people don't. But a lot of people don't bring up the whole, they celebrated 400 years of slavery. They didn't celebrate, they didn't celebrate that, slavery ended whenever Abraham Lincoln, signed, the Emancipation and Proclamation, whatever it was, to make us all slaves. What he did was he didn't free slaves. He made everybody indebted to the United States of America. That's what he did. That's a whole nother story. They don't talk about that. They talk about it's been 400 years since slavery. And they went very specific on that. But not one single person brought up how biblical that is. They didn't. Nobody said that. We talked about the whenever the Israelites were in Egypt and they were enslaved, and whenever Moses pulled them out, that was, if you do the math, that was only about 250 years. That was not 400 years. So what's going on there? I'm not saying it is or it isn't what it is. I'm just saying that there's more to this than what's going on. A lot of people say that, history may not always repeat, but it does rhyme a lot. So I'm not saying, you're going to have to do the math for yourself. You're going to have to figure this out for yourself. I am not saying that the slavery of the blacks in America are the 400 years. But it is interesting how it lines up better with what they say, what the Bible says about the slavery of the Israelites in Egypt. Again, I'm not going to go so far into it. I'm not that much of a biblical scholar. I'm not going to be able to tell you what it is and what it isn't. There's a lot more to it. There's definitely a lot more to it. And since that time when they quote unquote freed the slaves in America, we have only come to find that we are all slaves now. it's not just the blacks or some people have said the Chinese. Even though the Chinese were paid, there were others that were still slaves, or the Indians. The Indians used to own slaves, or indentured servants. That what's his name? There's several of them, and I've said a couple of them. Oh, I can't think of his name right offhand. He's on YouTube, and I've said a couple of them where it's if you just listen to what these guys are saying and just really hear the words, you can know that there's something more coming, going on. What was his name? I haven't heard from him in a while because he's been. I've kind of stopped listening to him because he's been repeating himself. He's been putting out the same content, like redoing old videos, just adding new stuff. And it's like I don't want to listen to things that I've already heard you say, man. I want to hear you. Dane Calloway, there he is. Dane Calloway, and the other one. Let me see if this one is the one that I'm thinking of. No, it's not. But Dane Calloway is definitely one. He's the one that has been talking about. He's one of those that says that the people that were here, the Indians that are not Indians, the Native Americans that are not the Indians that we think they are. They were here first. Black people were here first. That there is no way they could have pulled 20 million, I don't know how many millions of people, people they pulled over from America. There's just no way they could have pulled that many people over the way that they did, the way that they say. That it was more than likely, and I've said I've agreed with this, because it's entirely possible that they were able to, if it's not that America was Egypt, that this is where everywhere started. Because again, the lie is so big at this point. I would believe that America is the quote unquote motherland, where everything started, and that everybody went to Europe and places like that. And who was it? Who's the other guy? I'm trying to think of the other guy. There's another guy that talks about it too, where he actually talks about just because they say that a place is north does not mean it's north. That it is very easily to say that north is what east is. North used to be what east is, like it's been turned. I mean, whenever they say, oh, the compass points north, that's just a word. The compass points to a specific direction, more than likely to a giant magnetic mountain. The Book of Enoch talks about the mountains that have the great iron deposits, mineral deposits, that could be where all the compasses point. Where we say that is simply what we call north. And we come to find out that a lot of the names that we give to different things aren't what they are. Just because you say compass points north doesn't mean that that's north or that's a certain way. North could very well be east. The compass could point west. If the compass points west, then north is east. So when they say that the enemies, the people of the land, went north, they could be saying they went east very easily. They could have gone north over the pole and then landed on the land on the other side. It's entirely possible. I say pole because it's in the middle. I'm not going to say pole because it's the top of the quote unquote planet. It's the pole in the middle. It's the mountain in the middle. It's the people want to say Hyperborea. People want to say what's the other one? Lemuria? Is that what people are saying? They're saying what's the other name? Oh, God, I can't think of it right now, man. My mind just is not working as much as it used to. I need to get back onto researching things again. Really get back into it. I pulled up my my liked videos. YouTube actually saves this stuff. Like 4,000 plus liked videos. And I've been going back and looking at all the liked videos. A lot of them are missing now. They're just gone. But so many of them in there that are still there, like the entirety of Rob Skiba's catalog. And then you see a lot of the Kent Hovind stuff, and it's just like, man, I need to go back through that. I can't find this guy's name. But Dane Calloway talks about the original people that were here in America were black, and that they came over. Those that say they are certain people but are the synagogue of Satan came over the ocean to America and enslaved them here. Which I have said that before too, is that something happened here. There was a world in existence of life here before the country was founded. It's entirely possible that the Constitution that we call the Constitution in the United States of America was UBTV. That's the guy. It was way on the bottom of the list. UBTV, he talks about America being Africa. Yeah. Or America being Egypt. Sorry, not Africa, Egypt. But the Constitution might have already been written. And what happened was when they came over and took over, they said, let's just keep them slaves. Or let's keep them thinking that they're free. There you go. Let's keep them thinking that they're free. But we will take over. Remember, they've had 250 years to go through the narrative, to create the narrative. So it would be very easy for them to simply just change some facts. We can't prove it. And a lot of people that are going out and actually proving it are finding out that, it's not what they say it is. It's very easy to say, oh, we had, 100, 200, 300 slave ships. So where are they all at? Apparently they claim that there's only, like 4 or 5 of them left. It's like, but you would need hundreds if you just sat down and logically thought about it in order to do that, even with the amount of time that it takes to make that trip. Where are they all at? You have to logically ask the question, why do all these old maps talk about completely different places in America than what we actually see? You talk about the gigantic lake that was, separated California. You talk about whatever Tartaria is, the old world buildings, things like that. And then you get into the, what is it, 7, 8 presidents, supposedly presidents of the United States before George Washington. And most of those guys, those portraits, look like they came from like the 1600s. Let's see if I can pull that up. Something happened here, though. Okay, U.S. presidents before Washington. Several men held the position. 1781, 1783, 1785. But "14 presidents of the United States." You see what I'm saying here? 14 presidents of the United States. But you look at this picture, and it says from 1774. This guy, Peyton Randolph. But this picture doesn't look like it's from 1774. This picture looks like it was something that was made back in the 1500s. Henry Middleton, 1774. I can't, that looks newer. I can't tell. John Hancock, who looks like Bob Hope. That doesn't look like a 1700s painting. These don't look like 1700s painting. Henry Lawrence, but that looks modern. That looks newer. But I remember seeing some of these. There's another one. Samuel Huntington. That painting looks old. These paintings just look older than the 1700s. They don't look anything like the paintings that we see, that we've actually seen from the 1700s. So, but then there were other ones. And there was one I saw that it was a black guy. I was like, what is this? Why is this actually a thing? But it's in there. You got to go digging for it now. It's different than it was, man. It used to be a lot easier to find this stuff. But now it's not. So go hunt that out, though. Seriously. But there was like there was history here before the Constitution. It wasn't all just, it wasn't quote unquote the Dark Ages, where we just magically lost 600 years of history. Just, nothing happened, don't worry about it. That's exactly what what your teachers want you to think. That's what the historians want you to think. It's nothing happened. Don't worry about it. It just, everybody was existing, and it was all horse and buggy. It was all horse and buggy, and nobody ever went anywhere. Nobody ever did anything. Nobody ever wanted to do anything, and we all just sat around, and we were all nice and happy. And then suddenly, we all decided, hey, let's go take over this new country that we've supposedly found. Let's go take that over, and then, you know what? Let's start building trains. Let's start building cars. Let's start building rockets. And it's amazing whenever you try to tell somebody that, and they're just like, well, it's just because, we were a lot more free to be able to do this. There was freedom to be able to go out and say that, well, we can build this, we can build that. Everybody was able to actually be free to be able to have knowledge. It was the church that was holding everybody down. It's like, what? No, man, come on. Seriously. It was out of the blue. It was like nobody was ever sitting on a farm somewhere and ever had like one of those, had one of those like Rain Man, redneck Rain Man. Redneck Everybody ever was sitting around on a farm somewhere and had a redneck Rain Man moment where they were just like, I'm going to invent a car. Because it happens. Because it happens. People do that. People do that. I'm going to invent a car. Yeah. I'm going to drive it down the driveway. Dad only let me drive it down the driveway. These definitely aren't my underwear. But, it supposedly happened like that for 600, 800 years. Just nothing. They're lying to you. But there was... It all ties back again. We'll try to bring this back around to where the same things that the Bible talks about, this psalm specifically talks about, for there they carried us away captive, required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. And I'm probably going to get busted again for saying it twice. Sing us one of your Negro spirituals. It's the same exact thing. Put it together. There's something else going on there. And like I said, Dane Calloway, UBTV, there were 3 others, I cannot think of who they were, that they talk about the same things. There's one guy that he was taking old pictures of Native Americans and recolorizing them the correct way, and these guys were coming out black. And you could see it. It wasn't the flat faced. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but the kind of high cheeked, flat head Eskimos. These were traditional Native American pictures that were taken back in the late 1700s, recolorized to where it showed a darker skin color and it looked right, and they were black faces and you could see it, and it makes you stop and think, there's something else going on here. I'm just looking for facts, man. I'm looking for facts. I'm looking for the truth. That's what we're here for. We're here for the truth. Anyways, let's keep going because it's starting to run out of time. I went on another tangent and went crazy. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? It makes me think of Amazing Grace. Makes me think of whenever they use, it's interesting whenever they say that they gave the slaves Bibles, very heavily edited Bibles, and many of the songs that slaves sing, the songs that I remember hearing, you talk about like Amazing Grace, of course, but then you talk about them bones, them dry bones. That's who was it? Oh, who was it that went out and was told by God to, wave his hand over? He was told to wave his hand over the land, and 3,000, was it 3,000? I think it was 3,000. I don't remember. Where he was told to raise his hand over the land, and it was the somebody said that it was the people that died. I think that's it. I could be mistaken. I could be putting that down. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Father, if I'm wrong. But they were talking about it was the 3,000 that died whenever they made the golden calf. Yeah. when they were trying to celebrate God with a golden calf, the Israelites, whenever Moses went up into the mountain, and when he came back down and God saw it immediately, dead. And that was those that rose whenever he said, pray over these dry bones and prophesy to them to come back to me, or something like that. Is it Ezekiel? This is saying Ezekiel. I don't remember. But that's that song. I never realized that until I read the Bible. And I was like, oh, that's that song. And there's other songs too. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of them. Behold, a shake. Yeah, it is Ezekiel. It's Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14. And then he said, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy unto man. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they said, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost, and we are cut off for our parts. Maybe it wasn't the 3,000. Maybe they come later. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. But yeah, just another one of those things, But it's interesting when you put all this stuff together. And then somebody tells you, that connects to the American slavery. This same Babylonian slavery that's in the Bible. It's the same. It's almost exactly the same. It's crazy stuff. Look into it. Like I said, I gave you a couple different places. Dane Calloway, UBTV. There's more than that where they talk about it. You don't have to believe it right away, but if you take a couple seconds to really look at it, then understand just how much of a lie we have been told, it starts making sense. Who was the one? I think it was UBTV was the one that talked about the Tower of Babel being in Canada. And I've talked about that before too. There's a video that I did on that. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, he was looking for a big circular shape, and there just happens to be a perfect circle lake with land in the middle of it. It's in Canada. That happens to be 3 miles around. That would take 3 days to walk around, or something like that. I don't know what it was. I think it was more than 3 miles around, but it took 3 days. That's what I think it was the Book of Jasher says, that it took 3 days to walk around the whole thing. So interesting stuff, man. Just saying, it's interesting stuff. All right, verse 5. Let's keep going. It's getting close for me to time for me to log into work. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. If I do not remember me, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Remember the children of Edom, those that went to the north, the Edomites, the ones that saw Jerusalem and say, let's tear it down, let's rip it down, let's rip it apart. Remember them. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast destroyed it, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. Now, people see that, and they read that, and they think, oh, look at this. They're telling you to hurt and maim and destroy little children. Oh, how topical. How topical for this time. But you have to remember, again, I'm logging in, sorry, that this is talking about Babylon. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. The Babylon who has done the worst and most evil, wicked, disgusting things upon this world. Who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. You have given us nothing but hurt and pain and destruction and misery, and happy will that person be that will give thee as thou hast given us. You have given us nothing but pain and wisdom. And you hear me? I almost said wisdom. You've given us nothing but hurt and misery. And whoever will give it back to you will be happy. Will be absolutely happy that they gave it back. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Happy will that person be when he comes back. When it comes time for you to face the judgment, for you to face your judgment and get your comeuppance, get what you have coming to you, happy will that person be when he taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So, man, I come back into work and I get like 5 emails. So, taking that as it is, and then taking the verse that we saw the one time where it says that there will be cheering and joy and happiness when the evil ones of this world are taken away. We saw that, and I said that's a hard teaching. Not a lot of people are going to like that. But when God takes care of everything away, he takes it away from the evil ones of this world, there will be cheering and great joy, singing and dancing over the death of the people that hurt us and destroyed us. And that's a hard teaching, and people don't like to hear that. But that is exactly what the Bible has said. On that token, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. That's a hard teaching. But it's right there. It's right there. I don't know. I don't know how else to I don't know how else to say that other than, you have to understand there's more going on here than just happy joy, we're all going to sit around and live in peace, kumbaya, everybody gets into heaven. That's just not the way it is. That's not the way it is. God gives you more than enough time to make up your mind what you're going to do, who you're going to serve. But in the end, the people that are saved, the people that will be saved, will be singing and dancing over the deaths of those that hurt us all. And that's a hard teaching. But it's in there. It's in the Bible. It's, I don't know how else to say it, man. I don't know how else to say it. It's straight up to the point. I'm not going to say that you have to go out and dance and sing and have a good old time whenever somebody gets hurt that has hurt you. You want to try to treat everybody the way that you would want to be treated. But when it comes time, it's asking God, remember, O Lord, the people that used to do this. And that daughter Babylon, you people that are going to come from this, that this is going to happen. He will be happy to do this to you. This is a warning, is what this is. This is a warning. There will be dancing and cheering and great joy when you get what you deserve. So come out of her. Be better than that. Come back to God. That's what that is. It's a warning. Those 3 little verses right there, 7, 8, and 9. Again, sometimes they drain you. Sometimes these psalms just they sit so heavy on you. But you just know that you're supposed to get that message. That was exactly the message that we were supposed to get today. How do I know that? Because God woke me up this morning and told me I had to read. That's exactly how I know. Even if I'm in a different room, if I am doing something, not on the days where I'm cleaning up water in the basement, of course. I always know that, I have to stop and do this. Even some of those days that I just felt really, really just drained by it all. But I had to read because God told me to read. And there's days where God told me not to read. And then 2 days later, where he just told me, look, just go do something else. Go do anything else. Hell, go play a video game for an hour. I've done that. I'm not going to lie. I've done that. There's been a couple times where it's just been like, I'm not supposed to read. I can't read right now. I don't know why. I'm not supposed to. Go do something else. Seriously, go play a video game for an hour. But then 2 days later, we read a psalm, and it matches perfectly with what's going on in my life, in the world. It's what I needed to say. And it's one of those things that you just have to stop and you have to marvel at it. You're just like, how did he know? He knows. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows this. God knows everything. He knows when we have to stop, when we have to go, when we have to do stuff. He knows this. And he directs you to it, especially if you come back to him. Your life will be better. So, I don't know if it doesn't really do much for the people that are listening, because, I know anybody that's listening to this, you already have some idea and understanding of the Father and how this all works, but it's like not many people that aren't the people that aren't listening, the people that don't know, those are the ones I worry about because they just don't know. Most of them don't care. They don't want to hear it. And I wish I could get through to more people. I really do. But some people just aren't meant to, they're not meant to have the message. So, anyways, I gotta get going to work though. So thank you all for coming around and listening to this. It's different being up here. I'm not as comfortable because it's not my room. And I know I'm stumbling a lot and I'm saying the wrong things and I'm, it's a lot of it, but we're going to get through this. Hopefully we can get our basement fixed. Hopefully we can get that fixed where there's no more flooding so I can go back down there so that we don't have to worry about the house. Because we really have no place to go. There's so many people out there. Truth Stream Media just put out a video about the housing crisis. And I called it like 4 or 5 years ago. I said that, it's these corporate entities that are buying up all the houses. Because the only people that can buy houses are those that have money, and it's these greedy corporate rental companies that they're buying up all these properties and then turning them over into really high priced rental. And it's like they changed my directories. It's causing a lot of people to be without homes, and it didn't have to be like this. Still doesn't have to be like this. But nobody is willing to stand up and fight for it. Nobody is willing to try to take their lives back. They're all just kind of living it. And until you stand up and fight back, they're just going to keep steamrolling over you more and more and more. So I don't know. Just it's like I said. It's like the saying is, resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. You're not put here to suffer. So, all right, I'm going to stop. I wish you all well. I will talk to you all later. God bless every single one of you, and we'll go from there. All right, got to go to work. Later.